God bless. Hello, how are you? This is Overseer Edward. I just want to address something that was mentioned to me about when you decide to make a decision to go into business or anything that you desire to do, that it may be a good suggestion to give someone an insight on why and who you are rather than just putting up advertisement. And I thank that person personally for giving me that insight. One of the things that I want to address from a youth, when I first actually got into detailing vehicles and doing automotive installation in any sort, it came from a stem from my father. My father was a great mechanic when it comes to vehicles. I don't know if he learned it from his mistakes or he just learned it from a craft that was generational generation. I have no idea. Not to say that he picked all the best cars and not to say he ever picked all the worst. But one thing I did realize, even at a young age when I didn't even want to clean the vehicle, me and my brother seemed like we were kind of forced into cleaning the vehicle. But what my dad always mentioned, he said, never give a car back the way that you found it. And I'm like, what do you mean by that? As a young child, I'm like, what do you mean? I mean, you're fixing the car. So how is it that you're bringing it back the same way? And he said, and he never expressed to me what that meant. And not that he was a man of many words, but he was very wise in the things that he did say when he said it. And I always find myself like, okay, I don't understand it, but he's kind of making me clean, so I have to do it. But after over the years of obtaining many vehicles, I often wondered why my dad had so many cars. Like throughout the period of time, I never seen him with one car. Always had another car. And I believe I pick up that trait because I never wanted to have the same car for not too much long. And I thought about it for a long time. It's like, why do I have this desire to always have a different car? My family said I was very impulsive. I always got to go buy and buy and buy. But as time progressed, what I realized that every car that I received was never the same car. So I would do installs in different cars because every car I had, I would make sure it had a fresh radio. It had to have fresh speakers. It had to have fresh amps and subwoofers. It had to because I love quality sound. And I used to kind of find out how much exactly from different shops it would cost to do that. And a lot of them would cost an enormous amount of money just to do something that I didn't see that it was should cost. So I watched my dad over a period of time, and I realized as I watched him, he used to put the radios in. He used to put the speakers in. He loved sound. Whether either it was bass or a nice little classical sound, he just loved music. And every vehicle was the same thing consistently, and that's what I would do. So what it taught me was that I can clean that car from his experience of making me do it as well as me enjoying it, and I know how to do sound systems very well. So over that period of time, I realized how much I enjoyed it. Now, one upside to that is I suffer from mental illness. So because I suffer from mental illness, I can't be around a lot of people for an extended period of time. I don't care, pastor or not. Anytime that I'm around an enormous amount of people or very vaguely amount of people, I get very paranoid. Is because that issue of trust is very, very deep to me. And because of some of my past experience, I realized that trust is something that I don't really take well. So that X off retail jobs, that X off jobs in the public too much. I did computer repairs. I love that. But it was now, I didn't mind the job of computer repairs, but the only problem I had with it is that I have sleep apnea. So if I stay in one spot for too long, I end up falling asleep. So the job never really get done. So what I looked at is that detailing a vehicle and putting in a sound system makes me feel proud of my job first, but also it keeps me up because you have to look at what you're doing at all times. Even in that, I don't like people around me when I'm doing that because they distract me. My mental illness is not steady when it comes to that, and I'm not putting that and saying that, I can't do my job. But what I'm telling you is that through the process, you have to learn what you can be good at and not let nobody come in between that. Now, somebody that doesn't have mental illness, they probably, looking at me and say, oh, how can he perform his job? That's your business. I have always been consistent in this job. I have a great track record in doing this job. And if anything that I don't do well about the job, I go back and I fix it. I never have a problem with that, whether it costs me money or not. Why? Because my desire is to make sure people are proud of getting in their vehicle. Because I'm telling you, I hate going into my vehicle with a nice sound system and my car is dirty. So they kind of work hand in hand. It's like what my dad with the mechanic work. He didn't like doing the work and then come out and see the car dirty. It made him feel uncomfortable, and he felt to give somebody a car that's dirty, even though they gave it back to me that way or they gave it to me that way, it's kind of making me feel uncomfortable in my job. So even when I was doing the work of the sound system, I would still vacuum the area where I'm at. If I have to clean the upholstery, the carpet, whatever I have to do, because I don't want someone to get into a car, feel good about their sound system, and have a foul smell at the same time. It makes the music feel uncomfortable to you, even though it's just a sound. But man, I can't stand a moldy, smelly car. And I can't stand being in a car where it's so combobulated with dirt for no reason. And it's not that you don't know what you're doing. It's just that sometimes you don't have time to do all that kind of work. Because I get my car really bad and then I have to clean it when I start smelling it. But I realize that people go through that. And, I have searched many places and I have seen that the prices were so high to do something that doesn't take long to do. Like, it doesn't cost me much to do what I do. So why would I charge somebody so extra? I can't even say the word. I mean, why would I do that to somebody? That doesn't make sense to me. You want to be lucrative, then do a quality job at a market value price. Why do you have to charge someone $1,000 for a job that only going to cost you $500? And it doesn't make sense. I mean, most people that's in this business, they probably go, man, why is he saying all this? But because it's not that I'm in competition with anyone. It's just that I realize that I'm not going to spend an enormous amount of money on something I can do very well in at a little less price and still come up with the same quality that some people spend or charge a tremendous amount of money for. I just don't think that that's wise. Because at the end of the day, we are all struggling to survive. Why would you try to destroy people money-wise? And I don't understand that, because the same job that you're doing at this place, because there's no real competition, you can go down the street or go up north, maybe 20, 30, 40 miles and get it the same way for $90 and you're charging $250. So where do you think people are going to eventually go? And the quality should be quality. We have different grades of different things. And so all these grades, people go, oh man, this is going to make it coloration and this is going to make it coloration. Okay. Well, all that schooling I did, because I had to go back to school. Now, all that stuff, they teach you to get the best quality, but for a small amount of money. You don't have to spend a lot to get the 3M quality that everybody's so deeply on. The 3M quality is not that expensive for you. So why would you charge someone that much? That doesn't make sense to me. So that's the reason why I want to open up my shop. And I do ask for your help. But I'm not asking for a handout. I have an opportunity to utilize a shop for a period of time so that I can get the work done in the month of February. So anybody that needs their vehicle done in the month of February and they're in the New Jersey area, please hit me up. We can go to the shop, that I was able to temporarily receive so that I can help you and you can leave out feeling good about what took place. This is Overseer Edward. Thank you.